Hello everyone and welcome to morning coffee break. I hope everybody's doing good today. Well, I do have one place on my leg that's poison ivy, but I don't see any more so far. My wrists have been itching some, but I don't see any bumps. I know, like when I pick, I haven't picked them yet, but whenever I pick green beans, something about sticking your hands in there and getting at all of the leaves and stuff all over your wrist, man, they'll be itching. I may wear gloves this next time, which I'm ready to pull, to harvest some beans anytime now. And, well, while I'm at it, speaking of that, I did a garden update finally. I know it's been a while, but it's been so hot out there. I can't really even hardly work on the garden unless it's kind of almost late, at night, Not when it's completely dark when you can still see, but that's the best time to go out there and do anything because it's just too hot and humid. It really is. So it rained, and I thought, well, it's still going to be humid or maybe even more humid, but it cooled it down for just a little bit. So Kitty naturally caught on, and so I got Kitty out there with me, and she just loves being out there. And I did a garden update. And it took me a while because it's been a long time. I think it's been over a week. Usually I would do one about every few days. But definitely problems with the heat, and I show and explain about it. And also I've got some other tips in there for germination and stuff like that. So check it out. Right now it's 76 degrees. The high is going to be 85. Anything higher than probably 85 is really not good on your garden. It's not when it keeps happening over and over. 3% chance of rain, and winds at 8 miles per hour, so at least it's got a little breeze out there. So yeah, today be a garden update, and got Kitty just kind of hung out, because I really didn't want to walk like that. It was really, like I said, the temperature came down a little bit. I didn't really check before I went out, but it was really humid, awful, right after raining. I think everything kind of evaporated real fast and turned into humidity. Not sure about dinner. Might get something. I think we have to go to the store for something, or get something out or what. I don't know. I can't cook in here. Especially if you have the oven going and the stove going. It doesn't matter what you do. You could have 10 fans in here. It still gets too hot. So we've been eating stuff, which you can see in my shorts. I do a video pretty much every day of things that we've had. Just having things that you don't have to really cook. Sandwiches, salads, different types of salads. Stuff like, which is good for you anyway. I mean, it's helping us all lose a little weight. All right, so the jokes, we got some jokes right here. Finally, from a joke a day. Customer: waiter, I'm in a hurry. Will the pancake be long? Waiter: no, sir, round. A small boy was at the zoo with his father. They were looking at the tigers, and his father was telling him how ferocious they were. Daddy, if the tigers got out and ate you up... Yes, son, the father asked, ready to console him. Which bus would I take home? And thought of the day, I know who this is, Billie Jean King, the tennis pro from back in the day. A champion is afraid of losing. Everyone else is afraid of winning. Okay? And I saw one right beside a joke a day for trivia time. It sounded pretty good. And I got my coffee, but also, everybody, make sure you drink plenty of fluids. When it's like this, especially, or anytime really, you're supposed to drink quite a bit of fluids. But when it's really hot, it's more. You need more than what you normally would, probably. So, along with my coffee, I've got an ice cold water. Yes, that's good. And these have no BPAs in them. These Kroger ones. No BPAs. That's good. All right. Says, oh, I got to go to, it's general for the category. All right. To you, who is the sister of your parent? Niece, sister-in-law, aunt, cousin. Yep. That would be your auntie. That's right. Next question. I mean, don't need to explain that. Which of these families did the show Keeping Up with the follow? Which of these families did this? Oh, Keeping Up with the follow. Pitt, DiCaprio, Kardashian, Travolta. I don't think I ever watched it. I don't think, if I did, it was just maybe we were flipping through the channels or something. You know, maybe just saw it briefly. But I never watched that show. I'm not much for reality shows either. They're really not. Because, you know, you find, well, I mean, I'm not going into it. Some of them say that a lot of them are you know, scripted. So, I mean, it's not real anyway. I'm not saying all of them are, you know, but some of them I've heard about. Of course, you hear lots of things, you know, about everything. But that would be, out of these, Pitt, DiCaprio, Travolta, Kardashian. It'd be Kardashian, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I think it was called. Wow, 19 seasons, and I never watched it. It was on 19 seasons. Oh, man. And they had a bunch of things. Okay, never mind. To you, who is the son of your sibling? Nephew, son-in-law, brother-in-law, niece. Okay, I mean, you know, it's nephew. Right. What is the relationship between Lisa Marie Presley and Elvis? Father and daughter, brother and sister, uncle and niece, grandfather and granddaughter. Father and daughter. Okay. Which family was involved in a historic feud with the McCoy family? Roosevelt, Kennedy, Rockefeller, Hatfield. You stole our pig. We did not. You stole our pig. We did not. Shoot him. Basically, it started, I think, over a pig. You know, the whole 40 years or whatever they fought. Okay, so it was their Hatfields and McCoys. Yes, and let's see. The feud between the Hatfields and McCoys is perhaps the most famous family conflict in American history. There was one good show on it, too. I don't know if it's still on or anything anymore, but it was like I guess it was like a series. It was like several of them, I think. Maybe it was just so many, you know, mini-series or something. Anyway, at the center of the conflict were the two family patriarchs, William Anderson Devil Ants Hatfield and Randolph McCoy. As legend has it, two neighboring families in the backwoods of Appalachia waged a crude and bloody war against each other over a stolen hog, an illicit romance, and long-standing grudges. You got our hog. No, we didn't. That was good bacon we had this morning, honey. Okay. How is Miley Cyrus related to Billy Ray Cyrus? I don't know. If she saw him on the last time I saw him on TV, she might be like, I don't know who he is. If y'all remember that, I forget what it was on. He was on, but he was in bad shape or something. I don't know. Something wasn't right. If any of y'all saw it, you know that something was not right. So anyway, niece, daughter, daughter-in-law, cousin, daughter. Yep. She was born November 23, 1992. If you remember, she was on Hannah Montana on TV. Which family is famous for living at 0001 Cemetery Lane? The Addams family, the Brady family, the Toretto family, the Tanner family. You know, I wish that the Brady family had lived across the street from the Addams family. Now that would have made that show so much better, you know. So the Toretto family, never heard of them. The Tanner family. So it was the Addams family, right. And I saw the sets when we were in California. When we lived in California, we went to a movie production, place. I don't know which one it was, really. They did McHale's Navy. And all that stuff was little remote control ships from McHale's Navy and stuff, and submarines and everything, all remote control stuff. It's crazy. And I got a picture somewhere, I don't know if it's Mom has it maybe, of me holding up a huge boulder. I'm just like 6'7", maybe. And I've got a big boulder like this going, and it didn't weigh anything. It was like a sponge, but it looked like a boulder. And I was supposed to get to meet Herman Munster and get a picture and sign, but he was late. And they said it would be 40 more minutes. And my dad said, nope, we're going home. Can't wait. So my heart was broke over that. I got a picture with the guy from McHale's Navy that was like Colonel Bingham or whatever his name was his assistant. That guy. I've got his hat on. He had like one of those hats, like I don't know what you would call them, officer's hat. I got his hat on. It's too big, and he's like got his arm around me and got a picture somewhere, and I got his signature. So that was my consolation prize for not getting to meet Herman Munster. I was like, okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, the old Addams family. What was the relation between Hansel and Gretel and the famous tale? Siblings, mother and daughter. Hi there. You come up here if you want. Mother and daughter, cousins, father and daughter. Hansel and Gretel. The witch. The great, what was it? Gingerbread house and all that. Yeah, they were siblings. That's right. And the witch was going to fatten them up and cook them. To you, what is the daughter of your brother or sister called? Daughter of niece, sister-in-law, aunt, nephew. That would be niece. All right, that's 9. One more. Which of these American inventors was one of the Wright brothers? Henry, Thomas, Wilbur, Alexander. Wilbur. The talking horse. I guess that was the guy that took care of him was named Wilbur, wasn't he? Wilbur. Oh, okay. So anyway, it was Wilbur. That's right. I got all 10 right today. I kind of enjoyed this. I mean, some of them were kind of easy, but I enjoyed it, and that's what matters. We have some fun. I hope you enjoy it too. If you did, I hope you'll press that like button. Also subscribe if you haven't already, and share this out and hit that so you get all my videos as soon as they come out. And check out my garden update video later on today. Bye everybody, and God bless.